So what we are going to work on is question 10 on sample paper C of the new junior cycle exam papers. So first question here says we have an equilateral triangle ABC, each of length 8. So the first bit of problem solving is what are the lengths of the other two sides. Well, you know it's equilateral, which means they all have to be equal. So we have 8 centimeters and 8 centimeters. That's what I would be filling in first. Then they want the area of the triangle. So how do we find the area of a triangle? Well, you would write down your formula. Area of triangle equals half the base by the perpendicular height. You need to write that down. So we have a triangle here. We have a base, but these 8s are not the perpendicular height of the triangle. They do not meet perpendicular. The perpendicular height would be the height of this line here. It comes down and hits the base there. So to fill in this formula, we have to find the height of this. So a little bit of problem solving here. So this line comes down and it halves the base. So I'm just going to draw myself this side of the triangle. So if I drew that here, here's my right angle, here's 8. This is what I'm looking for. This is the height. We'll call it x. And this would be 4. Because if the base is 8, this small triangle would just be 4. Now I need to figure out a way. How would I find out what the length of this line here is? Well, I have a right angle triangle. So what should come to mind is Pythagoras' theorem. So Pythagoras' theorem says that the longest side, the hypotenuse squared, will always equal the other two lengths squared and added together. So there's a few ways people write this. They write c squared equals a squared plus b squared. Maybe you write it as h squared equals o squared plus a squared or something like that. So you have to know what the sides are called. So I'm going to call them h, a, and o. The hypotenuse being the longest side, and the other sides don't actually matter for Pythagoras. You just have to make sure that the longest side is the one equal to the other two. So we know that 8 squared should equal 4 squared plus x squared. So let's label. We have 8 squared, which is 64, should equal 16 plus x squared. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is we are going to solve for x. So we need to get x by itself. So we have 64, take 16 equals x squared, because I had to take 16 from both sides. So then 64 take 16 would be 48 equals x squared. I'm running out of room here, but we need to find out x. So if something squared equals 48, to get rid of the squared you do the opposite, which is the square root. So if you just pop the square root of 48 into your calculator, it will tell you that x is 4 root 3. So that means this guy is 4 root 3, the height, which now makes life easier because I now have everything I need for this formula. The area is found by multiplying a half by the base, which is 8, by the height, which is 4 root 3. Now 4 root 3 sometimes scares people. It's just a number. So you can, if you're unsure how to multiply these, you can put it into your calculator exactly as it is. So you have a half bracket. Now make sure it's exactly the same. The brackets are in the right places. So we have 8 bracket, and then open another one, 4 square root 3. Go across, make sure to go across and close the bracket again. So we have 16 root 3. This is area. It's all in centimeters, so it's squared. Now your calculator might give it in decimal form, which is 27.7. It doesn't ask, it doesn't say if what form they want, decimals or not. So either are correct. I'm going to leave it like that because there's too many numbers here. Let's do part B. So we have to then, if triangle ABC is the base of a prism, so here's the same triangle, that's important to note, and they're looking for the volume of this prism. Well, we know to find the volume of a prism, you just find the area of the cross section, or basically the two ends. Alright, they're the same shape. So find the area of one of the sides, which we already found to be 16 root 3. And all you do is you multiply it by the length or the depth of the shape. So in this case, the area was 16 root 3. And all we're doing is multiplying that by 10, which would give you 160 root 3 centimeters cubed. Remember, it's cubed because it's volume. If you left that in decimal form, it would give you 277.128, which is perfect as well.